So comparative picture, front view, before hair transplant, 7 months after hair transplant. A huge difference, right? So today in this video, we'll be discussing an interesting case of Mr. S, who presented to us with a big area of baldness, grade 5, and we planned 6,000 grafts for him in a single session. Single session dispersed into 2 days, day 1 and day 2. So 2 consecutive days were done. On day 1, we did FUT and some FUE, and in day 2, we did the lower margin FUE and the scalp extraction. I'll tell you the details. So it's a big area, grade 5. You can see this is a big area of baldness, and we plan to do this entire area, going for the back along with the triangles in 2 consecutive days. So it was a big challenge, and neither FUT alone nor FUE alone was gonna give us those many grafts, even if we are using the beard. So what we did, we combined FUT and FUE. The plan was to divide the scalp into 3 zones. The front part, which is the main priority, is, let's say, called the area A. The vertex, which is the second priority, let's call it area B. And the mid scalp is the last priority, let's call it area C. Now, why we divide into 3 parts? Because area A is the most important. It is the front. It includes the hairline, and that is what defines the facial aesthetics. This is what people are gonna see. This is what the patient is gonna see every day. So this is given the first priority. If we do the same density everywhere, we are gonna need 10,000 or maybe more grafts, which is not feasible. So that is why we prioritize the areas. So area A, we give a higher density, and even in area A, we do a better density in the front, which we call the hairline zone, where we give a density of around 40 grafts per square centimeter. Then comes the forelock, where we give a density of 30 grafts per square centimeter. Area B, second priority, because this is going to be visible from the back. So even if you have good hair on the front, and if this stays bald, it doesn't look very nice, right? So that's why the area B is given the second priority, where we give a density of 25 grafts per square centimeter. Area C is the mid scalp, which we also call the junctional or the sandwich zone. Here we reduce the density. The reason being, we have limited resources, so we have to make do in the resources that we have. Also, this area can be hidden by a particular combing. So the hair that is coming from the front, we can comb in this direction. So these hair are covering this part, and also in the vertex, hair are planted in this direction. So these are combed forward, and so we are getting support not only from the hair. So we are getting support not only from the hair which are present here, but we are also getting support from hair which are coming from the front and hair which are coming from the back. So this was the plan. If you want to know the division of numbers, we did around 3,000 grafts for area A and 1,500 each for area B and area C. So this was the plan that we did for it. Now, how we executed this plan. So, big area to cover. Thus, what we did a 1.25 centimeter broad strip, FUT, and we planned 2,400 grafts through this. Second was FUE. We did an FUE from here, and we did an FUE from here, and we took around 2,400 grafts more. So from his scalp, in one session alone, we managed to take out 4,800 approximately grafts, and the rest 1,200 came from this part of the beard. And thus, we succeeded in taking out around 6,000 grafts without over harvesting the donor area. We'll show the pictures later. This picture is taken right after the strip closure. So this line here is the stitch line. and the wound is closed into two steps. One is internal closure, which are also called buried sutures, which are absorbable, and then the skin sutures, which are removed after 10 days. So it is closed in two layers to give an additional strength to the wound. After taking that, we did the FUE. So this area that you are seeing is FUE. Now if you see here, this area here also has good hair. But this is usually a no-go zone because this may not be permanent. So we want to restrict ourselves to the permanent zone. Only then the hair will be permanent, right? So this was the plan. In the second day, we took hair from the lower margin and from the beard. This is the third day picture where you see scabs have been formed, which will gradually remove via shampooing over the next week. Interesting photograph here. So now as you can see, there is a gradation of density. As I told you in the beginning, the hairline zone, high density. Forelock, good density. Area C, low density. And then area B, vertex, again moderate density. So this is how it is planned. Reason being, again, hairline is the most important area and that's gonna define our face. Mid scalp can be managed by combing, and we'll see how this plan gave the result. What we achieved with this plan, we're gonna see that later. So again, some pictures, we'll quickly go through these pictures. You can pause wherever you want. You can pause the video and see the pictures in detail, and you'll get even a better understanding of the plan. Now, as you see, we have done some triangles here. It is of course not a very high density. These were the leftover hair. So we just put some hair to give a nice definition to his temporal triangles. These are the pictures that have been sent to us by the patient because the patient was out of Delhi and can't come to us every third day. So we keep in touch with the patients through WhatsApp, Skype, email, chat, text chats, and we want to keep a track on how the patients are behaving, and if anything goes wrong, we can tackle that at the right time. So again, if you see here, the vertex area or the area B, again we see the hair are put at a slightly higher density, and if you see closely, they are not in straight or backward or forward direction. It's a whirl here. This is the natural hair growth pattern at the vertex. A vertex is not a very easier to do a transplant on. The results are slower. There is a see-through. Even after adequate implantation, there may be see-through. The reason being, first of all, the density is not as high as the front, and also these are the leftover hair. So the best hair are used in the front, and then beard hair, the hair coming from the sides, these hair are used on the vertex area. So always the results are slightly lesser than the front. This is how his donor area is healing. It may look patchy for a few days, but then gradually it recovers. The hair that we take out, that is not going to grow there again, but it is taken out in a way that the surrounding hair, they cover it up very nicely. We'll see that later. This is after betadine application. This is how it looks after the scabs have shed. Because we have been gentle with the shampooing, there has been some dandruff, but that will clear eventually. And again, if you see more hair in the front, less hair in the mid, and slightly more hair at the back. The vertex view. This is after around a month or so. Now if you see, there are not much hair going on because the patient is experiencing the shedding phase. The hair that we have transplanted, first they undergo a shedding phase, and then after 3 months they'll start to grow back again. So this phase is normal and there's nothing to worry about. So now you see the donor area started to heal. There is patchiness, but gradually it will cover up. So this is around 2 months. Again, not much happening. We are seeing some hair, which is a mixture of his old hair that he had and some new transplanted hair which were not shed. So that is what is visible, but this is not the result. This is just maybe 5% of what you will eventually get. So there is no swelling, there is no scars. The donor area has started to get covered. Again, the hair that we take out is not going to grow back. The hair that we left is going to cover it. So it has started to recover. This is around the third 3.5 month photograph. Now the hair has started to gain length. The new hair has started to sprout. Again, wherever you want to pause the video to see at the pictures more closely, please feel free. So now we'll be gonna show you a video of his 4th month progress. It's a nice 360-degree video where the patient has shown his scalp status from all around. This is the 5th month photograph. Now we are seeing a pattern in his hairline. The scalp is getting covered. The look is getting denser and denser. Again, not the final result, but we are getting there. Even the crown, which is a very slow area to progress for the reasons that I told you about, but the crown has started to get better. Of course, under flash of light, scalp is visible, which will get better with time, but still much better than what it used to be. The donor area is almost as it was, at least visually, what it was before the hair transplant. 5th month progress. The front looks much better. Even the mid scalp is getting fine, and the crown, which was a big crown, we are getting there. And if you see, the hair are growing in the whirl pattern. You see, the hair is growing in the whirl pattern, not forward and backward, in the whirl. And this is where the trick comes when it comes to the crown area or the vertex area hair transplant. So these are the pictures which have been taken in the clinic when the patient came for his PRP 5.5 months after his hair transplant. So front already becoming pretty nice. The hairline look, there is no pitting. The hairline area, no pitting, no cobblestoning, perfectly natural looking hairline. The use of singles and then the density has been perfect. So a person seeing this photograph only would not say that it is a transplanted hairline. It looks near natural. So the top view, getting there. Remember, this is the area, the mid area where we put less hair, the low density area, and we expect the person to comb it and cover it. This will also get better in the coming months because we are only at the halfway stage right now, but already started to look much better than what it was. This is the donor area. This is the area, roughly where the strip was taken out. Again, if you see closely, it is not that visible. Of course, there is a thin line going through. That's a strip scar, but always be visible. But for practical purposes, it looks pretty decent. And the FUE was done from here, and from here looks okay because not every hair is taken out. We have taken out 30 to 35% only, and that is why the area doesn't look patchy. Normal view of his donor area, looking like almost nothing has been done. Of course, half of his hair has been taken out, but the way it has been taken out, the idea is to make the area look untouched. This is the picture sent by the patient 7 months after his hair transplant, and now you see the actual beauty. It's a nice looking hairline, pretty dense. There is no special lighting, there is no topic, there is nothing, no sprays or anything. Just natural lighting, simple mobile camera photograph, and you can see the result here. Side view. Now remember, we did some work on his triangles also. Not a lot of hair, but just some hair for the definition. And you see how nice and natural it's looking. The person has not kept very short hair, but not very long hair also. And the donor area, there is no scarring, there is no loss of density. The donor area looks pretty decent. So this is the rear view. Appreciate the donor area, it looks pretty decent, not patchy at all. The main thing, the bald crown area. Now this was the area that was completely bald, and now you see it is reasonably well covered. Of course, it can't be like the front because we have used lesser hair, and the whirl. So wherever the whirl starts from, there's always a see-through, but this is totally acceptable. And it will get better in the coming few months. This is just a 7th month photograph. Now 10-15% more hair are gonna come here. So comparative picture, front view, before hair transplant, 7 months after hair transplant. A huge difference, right? Top view, entire area reasonably empty, getting well covered. Again, the results on the crown will be lesser than in the front, but we can manage it by combing. Thank you very much guys for your patient viewing. I know it was a long video, but because it was a new topic, an interesting topic where a new thing was discussed, hybrid hair transplant, and how we execute this procedure at Medlinks, I thought that it's worth to explain you in detail and make a long video out of it. I hope that this added to your information, added to your research and knowledge about hair transplant. We'll keep making such informative videos in the future. If you have any comments or questions, please ask us in the comment section. More description about this patient, like the number of grafts, plan, etc., will be there in the description section. So thank you very much. This is Dr. Gaurang Krishna from Medlinks, New Delhi.